Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and guys, we gotta talk about the PSVR2. So you guys know the PSVR2 is one of my babies, one of my longtime babies, and really is the underdog of consumer VR to me. And so we're gonna talk about, is it worth it in 2026? 3 whole years later, like, dude, I literally had 2 kids, I bought a house, and then I started a whole new life and expanded the PSVR2 first touched like my head. So yeah, a lot of nostalgia built into this headset for me, and I've had a lot of fun with it, even with it being on PS5, on the PS5 Pro, and on PC. So we have a lot to cover today, and anything I mentioned in this video will be in the description below. So if you want to support the channel, you know where to go. First, we're gonna talk about the visuals and the tracking. So the visuals of the PSVR2 are simply amazing, especially for the price. I mean, they're damn near unbeatable at that 300, well, especially by other headsets like the Meta Quest 3S, which is like the only headset in range that's worthy of talking about. Where the PSVR2 really shines to me personally is the colors. The FOV has the widest FOV of any VR headset that I have personally used in my life. Like, I've had the Valve Index, I've had Pimax headsets like the Pimax Super and the Pimax Light. I've had a lot of high FOV headsets, but the PSVR2 still ranks very high in terms of FOV. And if you don't know what FOV is, that is field of view, basically how much your eyes see when you're looking around in the headset, which is very important. That is very important, because a very small FOV makes you feel like you're looking through binoculars, and most people won't like that. Other than that, the HDR that's implemented only on PS5 as of right now is also beautiful. I mean, games like Into the Radius or even No Man's Sky, which is my personal favorite PSVR2 game outside of RE4. I mean, it's really hard to beat in terms of visuals. The only thing that can deter somebody from using the PSVR2 is mirror. So mirror basically is like a stain on the screen that all OLED, not the regular OLED, not micro OLED, regular OLED VR headsets have, and it's kind of hard to get away with. You also see it in QLED headsets like the Pimax Crystal Light and the Base Super, but it's definitely prevalent in OLED headsets. Now, personally, to me, the mirror is worse on the PS5 because it's running with obviously lower power than being on a PC. So really, once you have that mirror, it's sometimes hard to not notice it, but most people kind of just go through not noticing. Another thing that can be annoying is persistence, and that's basically when the image drags when you're looking around. Now, personally, this isn't a deterrent for me because I usually play games that have higher FPS. So the higher the FPS, the real less persistence or reprojection that you have to worry about. Now, you'll hear those terms used interchangeably, but obviously with reprojection, that's when games run at lower frame rates and they get reprojected to higher frame rates, which can cause that persistence and a lot of this very headache inducing VR. So basically, to sum all that up, the headset does have some trade-offs in terms of visuals, but man, the things that it excels at, like the FOV, the colors, the brightness of the panels, and everything else, it's really good. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is mine. Another thing I want to talk about in terms of visuals is astigmatism. So if you need glasses like your boy, make sure you go to VRrock.com, get some subscription links for your PSVR2. They're cheap, affordable, and always ship in a good time. Don't wear glasses with your VR headset, man, because you can scratch the lenses. It gets really bad, and you're gonna basically make your experience that you pay $100 for suck. So help me, help you, help me, help you save some money, man. Use code MartydudeVR for 10% off and tell them MartydudeVR sent you. Now, in terms of controller tracking and just general tracking of the headset, the PSVR2 does pretty decent in low light, at least in my experience. You can buy IR lights and stuff like that to shine around your room to play at night. But personally, I think the PSVR2 tracks very well, especially on the PS5. Now, on PC, it can get a little shaky because you have to supply your own Bluetooth adapter, and we'll get into that later in the PC section. But as of right now, the tracking is totally fine on the PS5 for the actual headset itself and the controllers on the PS5. And something else I want to mention is the headset actually has rumble. So yes, some games you will actually feel the headset rumble when you're playing, and it is very immersive. And I think that's one of the coolest things about the PSVR2 as a general ecosystem, is that everything on it is built for immersion, and they definitely give that in certain games, especially like RE4, which is my baby, and even the controllers. So even the segue real quick to controllers, I love the PSVR 2 controllers. Now, to me, they're some of the most comfortable just overall controllers. But the main thing is the battery life is a little shaky sometimes. And getting a replacement for one of these joints is hard. So right now, to get a replacement for this controller, you gotta go to the Apple site. And sometimes you will have GameStop having some refurbished ones. I'll be honest with you, I would say get a PSVR 2 off of eBay for like 180. Don't pay that for 200. You literally get an extra headset and you'll get some more controllers. I'm personally not paying the Apple tax, just some more controllers. I mean, I even have a PSVR 2 in my closet back there that's just sitting there pristine because I needed some more controllers because I kept, well, these are almost broken. So yes, overall, I love the controllers, man. I think they have a neat design. And they look really weird to me at first, but I kind of grew to really like them. I would say definitely for sure, if you're gonna be playing the PSVR 2, charge these beforehand and maybe keep like a battery pack in your pocket or something that has a USB cable to it, because they probably will die throughout your PlayStation. All right, so next we gotta talk about comfort. So comfort of PSVR 2 is one of the biggest contentions when it comes to owning one of these things, and that's because some people hate it. And I gotta be honest, after going back and trying the base PSVR 2, ooh, they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong. The comfort for this thing does suck. So I will say, if you're a person who is buying a PSVR 2, you need to buy the headset, / PS5, you gotta get that too. And then go to globularcluster.com. Go there now. Go there and buy their kit for modding the PSVR 2 because you're gonna need it. You are gonna need it. You're gonna need it. It makes the PSVR 2 infinitely more comfortable because that way it provides a top strap and keeps your head in the same spot that it needs to be. Because one of the big things about PSVR 2 is the sweet spot. So the sweet spot basically is where the view of the headset looks the best. So if you're in that sweet spot, you're like, great. Now when you're out of that sweet spot, that's when you get distortion and all that other stuff, and it can get real nasty, real ugly. People be like, oh, I hate this headset. So go to Global Cluster, get your comfort kit. You're welcome. But yeah, comfort is with this headset, but it can easily be fixed with a little bit of the narrow. And you're all like, I gotta pay to fix the headset. Yes, guys, as somebody that's reviewed like 13 VR headsets, and have had a lot of VR headsets on my head. Most VR headsets you're gonna have to pay to upgrade, to fix, to make more comfortable for you. It's just a fact of life. And now the next thing I want to talk about is game library. So a lot of people say the PSVR 2 has no games. I think they're capping and they are liars. They are liars, man. The PSVR 2 has a really great library, and that's not because I'm trying to sell you the headset or anything like that. There is no like PlayStation affiliate program. The main thing about the PSVR 2 is the expectations that were set by people outside the ecosystem really messed it up. And hear me out. VR is a very niche, and I mean very niche space, right? There's only so much money. Now people think that Sony was gonna be like Meta, just dump in billions and billions of dollars to R&D to get nothing back. And most people wouldn't run a business that way. But I mean, it is what it is. I think the PSVR 2 has a really good drip of games. Now, is it gonna be a game every month that's like AAA? No. Are you gonna get Spider-Man in VR? No. But you're gonna get some really solid indie games and some really high quality AA games that can really give you hours and hours and hours of fun. I think what a PSVR 2 really shines is the flat to VR ports, like games like No Man's Sky, RE4, RE8, Gran Turismo, which is probably the most played thing on the PSVR 2. Honestly, it genuinely is a Simmers headset because of how many people play Gran Turismo in VR. But outside of those people, there's just a lot of great shooters, adventure games, and just hours and hours of fun to be had in there. And it's funny because people tell me, yeah, PSVR 2 has no games. And then we see the retention charts for all the ecosystems. And it's like, none of y'all are playing games for real. So it's like, the PSVR 2 has enough games for the average person who is not an enthusiast or a person who reviews games. You will have enough to play. Now, if you're obviously somebody coming over from Meta Quest and you like that level of quality in terms of graphic fidelity, then I mean, yeah, you probably won't find much value in the PSVR 2. But if you're a person who kind of values graphics or is new to the VR in general, or just wants to experience some of the exclusives the PSVR 2 has, go ahead. And now we got to talk about my main use of the PSVR 2, which is PC. So PSVR 2 does have a PC adapter that came out about 2 years ago, and it honestly it breathed a lot of new life into the PSVR 2 that I was not expecting. So So a lot of people have bought the PSVR 2 in the past 2 years to use it as a PC headset, which is awesome. You guys know, if you've been on this channel for a long time, I'm PC VR first. I'm a PC VR baby, man. I love it. Like, look, back here, PC VR headset with the VR treadmill. I love it. I love graphics. But the main thing I will say about the PC aspect of the PSVR 2, and I do have a whole video going over just the general 1 year lifespan of it. It is very fun. Tracking the controllers can be annoying. I will say that. And some of the setup to get it working can be annoying. But once you get it working, it is definitely one of the best visual looking PC VR headsets under $1,000. And another great thing is that it has foveated rendering now, because somebody actually made a driver, which is basically like a piece of software that basically adds new enhancements to the headset. So the foveated rendering is something that you'll see in headsets that have eye tracking. So basically, wherever your eyes are looking at, it's going to focus on only where your eyes are looking, and everything else will be, you know, not pixelated, but pretty much not focus of render. And I'll make sure I have a graphic or something showing people who don't know what I'm talking about. And this saves you a lot of performance. Like, Jesus Christ, the performance gains of having foveated rendering versus not having it is like night and day. So yeah, the next headset that you can get right now under $1,000 that has foveated rendering at all is the Quest Pro, I think. If it's not the Quest Pro, it might be the Bigscreen Beyond, but the Bigscreen Beyond is over $1,000. So yeah, not a lot of pickings in terms of eye track VR headsets out there for the cheap. Now, obviously, we would have a Steam frame, but AI basically is killing that right now. And for my people who have AMD cards, you may not need that PC adapter, because it might be able to just plug into your GPU. So definitely look to see if you have a port that has like a USB-C on it on your GPU if you have AMD, because you might not even need a PC adapter. So all in all, I have enjoyed the PSVR2 on PC. I will link the Bluetooth adapters that I use. It's different for everybody, guys, different for everybody. There's a lot of weird kinks that can pop up. There's definitely subreddits you can go to get help. I might not be able to help you because I haven't done it in a while, but there's a lot of people online who have probably had the same issue as you. So if you go to those subreddits, tell them your problem, they're probably able to get you fixed. And Sony does have a list of approved Bluetooth adapters that work. They know for sure work with the PSVR2 on PC. But I will say this, Sony, y'all should give that thing more updates, because I feel like y'all gave us a beta of software, and that was one of my main gripes with them, because Sony does a lot of things half-assed. So yeah, that pretty much covers the PC aspect. I have videos going over that and reviewing it, so go check those out. I try to make sure I put it up. I think it'll be up here somewhere. So definitely gonna check that out. Next, we gotta talk about value in 2026. Where does the PSVR 2 sit in terms of the ecosystem? Is it dead? Is it being abandoned by Sony? And the answer is no, man. Slow down. Like I said before, not everybody's throwing billions and billions and billions of dollars into R&D and into these ambassador programs to sell this shit. They literally just, they put it out, gave people the tools, and said, here, make games for it. So you have a lot of people coming to PSVR 2, like Microsoft Flight Sim. You had the Hitman game. You have a bunch of smaller indies, double A's. It's a nice little range of games that have come out for PSVR 2. Even Grimlord, which is Dark Souls. This VR Dark Souls is coming, and y'all aren't ready for that. So I felt like the PSVR 2 is in a great place in 2026, because if you look at the overall market of VR, it is a deal and a steal for what it offers at the price. And something I didn't mention earlier is that because of the PSVR 2, I got the PS5 Pro. Happy I did, because it's probably gonna be very hard to get one because of the AI stuff. Yikes. But I got a PS5 Pro, and I actually do recommend the PSVR 2 PS5 Pro connection if you have other games outside of PSVR 2 that you play. But there are a few games that work with PSVR 2 on PS5 Pro, and you can see the difference between the two. But I think that the PSVR 2 is a great value in 2026. Very low cost HDR, eye tracking, headset rumbles, great controllers, and just an overall great ecosystem. I wish Sony would do more in terms of the software support of it, because I definitely wish we had more features in terms of ecosystem on the PlayStation side. But obviously with the PS5 generation, I don't really care about that. And yes, I argue anybody in the comments about that because it's been kind of proven that UI is not their strong suit in PS5. And even with the PC adapter, I feel like it just adds more value. So if you ever want to make that jump to PC after the RAM prices calm down, then you can do that. So yeah, you guys know I've always been a champion of PSVR2, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's not perfect, obviously, but it is a damn good VR headset. If you want to do simming, if you want to play shooters, or anything else on it, you can do it. Really one of the best headsets for horror games too, by the way, because of how dark the panels can get because of the OLED. But yeah, PSVR 2 is approved 3 years later when your boy MartydudeVR, who has reviewed this thing more times than probably a lot of your favorite VR YouTube. That being said, MartydudeVR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.